Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Hoy. My name is Giovanni, and in this video, I want to do just a quick update regarding some recent news regarding cryptocurrency from Biden that he has issued an executive order and kind of explain about if this is going to cause any effects on the crypto market. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? And if you should be concerned about this. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't yet already. Also subscribe and activate that notification bell so you'll be notified on all my future videos regarding cryptocurrency, Shiba Inu, and any news, and also Bone Token and Leash Token, and any news in the world of cryptocurrency. And just a quick disclaimer, this is not financial advice. You should always do your own research. So with that said, let's jump right in. So we have this statement released from the White House stating that President Biden to sign an executive order for development, research and development, pretty much for digital assets. So pretty much, I just want to read this small paragraph. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's pretty much just explaining here. They're just going to do some research and kind of see how this can be safe, if, the pros and cons, and what are the effects for climate, that this can cause, since they have, and pretty much seeing how this can be implemented and what they can do regarding safety to mitigate risks. And the last thing right here, which is explore the central bank digital currency, CBDC, which is I'm going to get to just in a minute. But starting here on the top, it says the following. It says digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, have seen explosive growth in recent years, surpassing a 3 trillion market cap last November and up from 14 billion just 5 years prior. Surveys suggest that around 16%, now this is important, guys, that a survey that they have done suggests that 16% of American adults have approximately 40 million people have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrency. Only 16%, guys, is not a lot. That means that we have so much space to grow in the cryptocurrency world, like in that financial space. So there's like so much growth. Okay. So, when I read that, I was like, whoa, a lot of people are not investing on this. So there's still a lot of opportunity. But anyways, let me stick here to the topic. I just wanted to kind of point that out. But it says over 100 countries are exploring and piloting central bank digital currencies, known as CBDC, a digital form of a country's sovereign currency. So pretty much, like I mentioned, not a lot of people are investing on this. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of opportunity, but we're kind of late to the party if you think about it, because it's saying here that over 100 countries, they already started on this. They want to make their own version of a digital dollar or some sort of digital currency. And I'll explain the difference between the digital dollar or currency versus cryptocurrency, because there's a little bit of confusion. It's not exactly the same thing. It's a little bit different. So I'll go ahead and look at this other article that kind of simplifies what is explaining here from the White House. And it says the following. It says, President Biden has signed an executive order on Wednesday, which is today, establishing a U.S. central bank digital currency, also known as the U.S. digital dollar, akin to the cryptocurrency. And then it says, one key difference between the digital dollar and the cryptocurrency is that the former, in other words, the digital dollar, would be subject to some regulations by central banks. For instance, the Federal Reserve could issue some monetary policies around issuance rates, address any inflation concerns, and more. Senior Biden administration officials told reporters that already there are more than 100 countries looking into issuing their own central digital currency. So the difference between pretty much what they signed here in the executive order by the president is that the digital dollar is going to be under regulation. It's going to be pretty much under the eyes of the government, which is in contrast the opposite pretty much of cryptocurrency. Now, there are exchanges and, there's KYC, which is know your customer or know your client, where you do have to register your photo ID, social security number if you're in the United States, and, just pretty much prove your identity. But that's a little bit different than what's going to happen with the Federal Reserve with the digital dollar. So I don't think this is going to affect. So pretty much this is not a bad thing and this is not a good thing. It's more like a neutral thing because it's not going to affect the cryptocurrency. You're still going to be able to use Bitcoin because they're not regulating Bitcoin. They're pretty much creating their own quote unquote cryptocurrency pretty much, and then using it as, and it's going to be 1-to-1 with the dollar pretty much. That's what it pretty much indicates here. But let's continue. It says here that the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said in a statement that in order to support an approach that will support responsible innovations that could result in substantial benefits for the nation, consumers, and businesses, she said that it would also address risks related to illicit finance, protecting consumers and investors, and preventing threats to the financial system and broader economy. So they want to do this like to be safe, and so they want to kind of approach this in a way that they want to make sure that it doesn't cause any negative to the economy, and to make sure that mitigate any sort of risks. So that's what they're doing, the research and development. And then it says here, several agencies of the federal government have already begun researching an introduction of a U.S. digital dollar. But senior Biden administration officials stressed that this is a first time the federal government has taken a holistic approach to assessing at the possibility of a central digital currency, connecting both government banking institutions with departments and agencies focused on security considerations to mitigate risks. So pretty much their main focus here is they want to take step by step and make sure that every step counts and that there's no high risks, pretty much. So, but the look of this, it might take some time. I don't think it will. If they do this and conclude anything, it probably won't happen this year. But anyways, let's continue. It says the digital currency announcement comes on the heels of a series of harsh sanctions the U.S. and its allies have been imposing on Russia as a result of its invasion of Ukraine. But senior administration officials say the timing of the executive order is unrelated. So pretty much saying that what's happening between the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, this executive order is not influenced by that. It's nothing to do with it. It's just something separate on the side. They say that the use of cryptocurrency isn't supplying Russia with a viable workaround to dodge the battery of sanctions the Russian economy is facing. So kind of giving like an excuse, pretty much like, okay, we're not doing this because, Russia's trying to kind of like find a workaround, since as many of you guys know, if you guys have been watching the news, they're cutting off SWIFT with other international banks. So that, pretty much all the transactions, they're not going to be able to be completed because they're pretty much unplugged. They unplugged, Russia from the SWIFT bank. So it's going to make it very difficult. And then you might think, well, a workaround will be using Bitcoin, right? We've seen this, when you can send Bitcoin to someone, it's not under any sort of regulation, and you can do a transaction that way. So but so far, based on this article, there hasn't been anything like that. So that's pretty much what they're saying. That's not the reason why they signed the executive order today. And then it says here, the new executive order also directs the Treasury to develop policy recommendations taking into account what kind of impact a digital dollar would have on the U.S. economy. Other agencies are tasked to considering privacy, security, and potential negative climate impacts, given the enormous amount of electric power required to validate many types of cryptocurrency transactions. So if they're looking into the climate thing, that kind of tells me that they might be making their own blockchain, and they want to see, we don't have that information yet, but I guess you're just looking into it. If the question kind of comes down to like, are they going to be using an existing blockchain or they're going to be creating their own blockchain? But we'll see. And just to finalize, it says, for instance, every Bitcoin transaction activates thousands of supercomputing mining machines, all competing against each other to solve a complex mathematical problem, each vying to be the first to validate the transaction and in return earn some Bitcoin. And right here, they just did some sort of comparison that a single Bitcoin currently is worth $42,000, which has the same carbon footprint of 330,000 credit card transactions. So they're just kind of using it as a comparison that I guess one Bitcoin has the same, it uses the same amount of energy as using that many transactions. So yeah, pretty much saying that, you know, credit card transactions use way much less carbon footprint than, you know, just one Bitcoin. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this, because pretty much the question would be, how are they going to do this if they were to do this? So one of the question is, will the digital dollar, you know, how is it going to be backed up? Is it going to be 1-to-1 to the dollar? Is it going to be very similar to USDC or Tether, USDT, or any of these other stable coins? Like Gemini has a stable coin. DAI has a stable coin. You know, there are already plenty of stable coins that are a ratio of 1-to-1 to the dollar, right? But just on separate, completely blockchains. Is it going to be the same way, or is it going to be backed by 1-to-1 to the dollar, which is fiat, or are they going to be are they going to make their own blockchain? That's the other question. Or which blockchain are they going to be using the central banks to kind of monitor? Because that's one of the biggest difference, is that the cryptocurrency is not monitored, by the government. The digital dollar will be monitored by the government. Pretty much they're going to be seeing every transaction you do. The same way how you go into your bank account, you're able to see that, Now with cryptocurrency, it's not so simple. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if they're going to be making their own blockchain, how is that going to work? And, there's just so many questions. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you find this, that is a good thing, it's a bad thing. I believe that, and this is my opinion or my prediction, is that if they move forward with this, they're most likely to make their own blockchain. I think they're not going to feel that like confident using another blockchain like Ethereum or Bitcoin or etc. or even Binance, BNB. They might make their own blockchain. They're going to learn the technology. And once they learn how it works, they might make their own blockchain. And then they're going to back it up to the dollar. And perhaps even be able to bridge it with a small fee, just to, I guess, to write it in the bookkeeping on the blockchains, of that whenever you buy the digital dollar. And they might be able to create a lot of space so there won't be high fees and high bidding, how it happens with Ethereum. So the gas fees go super duper high. And and that's what I think that would happen. But I don't believe this is going to impact or cause any negative impact to the existing cryptocurrencies out there. So again, I think this is just like middle ground, no neutral ground, better yet. Pretty much, cryptocurrency has gone up like about 8% already when this, these past days. It hasn't looked like it has been dipping. So the overall market it doesn't look like they're concerned about this, which is good. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you find this video to be helpful and informative, make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe if you haven't yet already. And also activate the notification bell so you'll be notified on all my future videos. And remember to buy, hodl, sell, repeat. Till the next one. Peace.